Well, welcome to Tool Time. It's 1 o'clock. As you know, we have the funniest, the greatest Dennis McKinnon joining us on Tool Time today. Dennis, did you have any announcements before we go into Tool Time today?
No, I really don't. I know we got some things coming up with Lifting Concierge that are pretty exciting that you'll all hear about here real soon. I thought we would have already, but it's coming. And so some great stuff, I think. So I think you'll really appreciate that. If you don't already use Listing Concierge, it'll make you want to use it. So pretty good stuff. But other than that, no, the market seems to be getting a little bit better. I know it's been kind of tough for the last 3 or 4 months, but we are seeing some turnaround stuff, and interest rates are doing a little better. So I'll keep our fingers crossed and look forward to the upcoming season. That's it.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you always being here and making us laugh. I was hoping to have Marketing Center up and running enough to be able to do a training today. As you know, we're getting rid of BrandServe and Marketing Center is going away, but I still don't have the proper access, which has been a nightmare. And there's still some things that are not working in my Marketing Center. So I don't want to show you mine until it's ready to go, and I really don't want to train on it and confuse you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to pivot, and I want to talk about a couple things today on Moxi websites, because I feel like this is still one of the things that I'm getting a lot of questions from. And Nick and I are going around and we're doing our social media with Connie, our social media world tour, and Dennis has been joining us. And one of the things we talk about in our social media world tour is your farm area and how you can farm a specific area. So I thought today we would spend tool time customizing a custom page on your website about your farm area. I think I've done this in the past, but I don't think we got into the really nitty gritty like I want to today. So this is going to be like for anyone who wants to customize one of their pages on their website, or if you have a team. If you have a team, this will also resonate because you can build out your own team page on your Moxi website, which is pretty awesome. And then there's one thing I want to point out to y'all that I've ran across. I put a ticket into Moxi for it. It's kind of alarming. Phil Baker in the Pace office showed it to me, and I'm going to show you guys on Tool Time so that hopefully we can get it fixed. So anybody who's on Tool Time here or watching the recording, we can fix it for you. There's a button at the bottom of your websites currently that's linking to another broker's page down south in Florida. Dennis, I know you're on the call. I put a ticket in for this, but it's very weird. And I've bubbled it up, but I haven't gotten any answers.
Let me know let me know. Shoot me something on the email and I'll look for it.
Okay, I appreciate you. So let me start with that so that we can get that all squared away. So for anyone who's on this call, it defaults to this. So you have to go in and change it. Otherwise, your website is like linking to another one. So let me show you. Let me share my screen. I needed to get it up for you. It's very odd. I've never seen anything like this before. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so let me just go to Phil's website to show you, because he's the one that showed it to me. So when you're on your Moxi website, if you've not done anything to your website, you still have a custom website in Moxi. Some of you guys have done some work on your website. Some of you guys have not. That's fine. But you have to go in here and change this. If you don't, then it's going to have this link. So if you scroll down all the way to the bottom of Phil's website. So Phil's actually customized his website. He went in there and changed the picture. He's done some work on it. And I know it's not that big of a deal because let's just be honest, a lot of clients are going to scroll all the way down here and click on this. But do you see where it says Pace Florida down here? This Florida is actually a link. And if I click on Florida, it's taking me to a affiliate, Jim Barlett, manager down south. It's like for some reason in our area, it's just defaulting to this. I don't know who this Jim Barlett guy is. It's not Dennis. He's down south in Venice, Inglewood, Florida. So, and it's on all of your guys' websites. So I want to show you how to fix this right now, the fix that I have to turn this off until I can get it resolved through Moxi. But we definitely don't want somebody to click on Florida and come to his website. Again, I don't think a lot of people are going to click there because it's all the way at the bottom and who's really going to that little tiny space. But obviously, Phil had an agent and him talking in the office, and they discovered this. So somebody's looking at it. So let's start there and let's fix that. Does anyone have any questions before I show you how to fix it? Is that not the weirdest thing ever? Kudos to you agents who always find these little nuggets and stump me. I love it. Okay, so let me show you how to fix it. So we're going to go into your Moxi website in the back end. Okay, so we're going to go to my website. It's going to take you into the website admin tool. This is where you make all the changes to your Moxi website. If you've never made a change to your Moxi website, the first thing that's going to pop up is for you to agree to the terms to use Moxi, and then it's going to ask you to create a domain name. I usually tell agents just put your first and last name because you don't want to stick with the Moxi domain name. The Moxi domain name is very it's very bulky. It's not sexy, right? Doesn't fit on business cards. So I highly encourage, if you haven't set up your Moxi website, go ahead, do these steps with me, and then go to GoDaddy and buy your own domain name. There's a lot of great things that happen with that domain name. Number one, you can take it anywhere you go, as well as if we decide to choose a different program for Moxi and we move away from Moxi, you can take that domain name and you don't have to change like your business cards and things like that. So your domain kind of stays with you, and it's like your brand and your identity. So you're going to hear more about that at our Social World Tour. We talk about branding and your identity. So think about your domain name as part of that branding. So if you haven't done that, I encourage you to do so. But to fix this gym guy showing up on your website, you come over to the left-hand side and we go to appearance. We're going to click on footer, not header, footer, because it's at the bottom of the page. So it's at the footer. And it automatically defaults to like the one that has this Jim Barlett guy. It's this default footer. You just need to choose custom footer. If you choose the custom footer and you hit update, Jim will no longer be on your page. I just, for the life of me, can't figure out why ours is defaulting to this Jim Barlett guy. And I don't think Moxi's understanding. I think they think that like it's not automatically defaulting to that, but it is. So just make sure you go in here and you change this. You know, I've tried to put as urgent as I can a ticket in because I feel like that can decrease your business. So I think it's really important that you come in here and you choose custom footer and then you choose update. Then you won't have the your brokerage in the area there anymore, and Jim Barlett will no longer be on your website. So if I visit my website now, and again, I've done work on my website, but my footer looks different, right? So I just have home, properties, about me, bio. I don't have that anymore. So it kind of takes that entire Florida pace away. Does anyone have any questions about that? I know that's a little confusing, but I felt like it was really urgent for me to get on here on Tool Time and start with that. Because when I find something like that that I know can impact your business, we need to get it done ASAP.
Brittany, I do. So if I can just slow that down real quick.
Yep.
Appearance, default footer or custom footer?
You want the custom footer.
Okay.
It's going to default to the footer with Jim Barlett on it. So you want to change that by clicking the custom. So it already, like, if you didn't touch your website at all, it's going to be default footer, but you want it to be the custom footer.
Okay, so maybe reset your custom footer.
Does yours look like mine, Courtney? Let me go back to admin home. So if I go to site page, or I'm sorry, if I go to appearance and then footer, do you have these two options of default or custom?
Yes.
Okay, does yours already default to custom?
Yes.
Oh, it does.
Mine did. When I went on this page, it was already on custom.
Okay, awesome. Well, then you don't need to do anything, Courtney.
Okay.
You are good. Most of the people that I've ran across, theirs is defaulting to this default footer. And that's where that Jim Barlett is. So you just don't want this one to be checked. So just make sure this one is not checked and make sure custom is. So you are already good. Look at you, head of the game. Per usual.
Yeah.
Let me check the chat. Is there any questions in the chat? No questions in the chat. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Just go in there and change that. I just want to protect you. And I'll keep you posted on the ticket. I'll get with Dennis and see if we can't get it escalated even further to hopefully get that changed to, I mean, if I can build out Dennis's, I would like to do that and have them all connect to Dennis. That way we're not going away from our region. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Dennis. All right, so let's go into actually customizing a page. Let me go back into my website. Can you guys see my screen again?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's talk about building out a page, or if you're a team, or if you want to make your homepage different, right? There's a lot of different options that you have in this Moxi website, and we haven't really got into the nitty-gritty of it because it is a little bit daunting. But today I'm going to teach you how to build a completely custom page, either using one of the templates that they have here in Moxi and just putting in your own information, or building out something completely custom. So where we're going to start to do this is, if you haven't already, when we're on the home page, if you haven't been in Moxi yet, the easiest way to kind of get your website up and going is to go through these common tasks. So these are like the website 101 course, where you go in there and you just kind of do these little personalizations, right? I'm going to say this is probably like a website 102 or 103 advanced course that I'm going to be doing here. So for people who have already done this step, their website is already customized, their homepage. This is like getting a little bit more deeper into website building and using your website to hopefully generate more business. So we're going to go to site pages, and I'm going to click on all pages. It's going to take me to all the pages on my website. And what I mean by pages on my website is these are pages on your website. I'm going to use this Jim Barlett guy since clearly he's popular. These are the pages on his website. So he has properties. He's got his active listings. He's got buying and selling. They have already kind of curated some great stuff for you on your website here that has buying and selling tips and financial calculators. About us, it has his story and contact us. I'm assuming he's using this as his, I think he's a broker, so I'm going to assume it's his region. He's got his neighborhood news tab, which you have on your website. You probably also have a global luxury tab. And then he's got more. So he's built out these two pages. He's got about Caldwell Banker and agents and offices. So makes me think that he's an affiliate, meaning that he's got multiple offices. So he built out this page. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about pages. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out a custom page.
Hey, Brittany, Courtney has her hand up.
Okay, Courtney.
Sorry, I got distracted by an email that came in. I want to be sure that you go back and tell us that how to switch our website name just to like JimBartlettHomes.com.
So that is actually in your website settings. On the left-hand side here under settings, it's going to be under your, what is it called? What am I trying to say? Domain name. Gosh, why can't I even talk today? So it's going to be under site settings. And then should have domain here. Hold on one second. Tools. Let me find it. Personal domain right here. So that's where you're going to go ahead and put in your personal domain. So my domain right now is brittanymoulton.sites.cbmoxi.com. If you have a domain that you want to connect to your Moxi work, you're going to have to come in here and change it. So what we were doing when most people had domain names from InTouch, we were going to GoDaddy and we were just forwarding the website to Moxi. So for instance, like if I typed in Courtney Sells Niceville.com, it would take me to the Moxi website, but it would still have the Courtney.sites.moxi.com up here. But to change it to that, you're going to have to go into that personal domain and change the settings. If you need help with that, Courtney, I can help you with that. We just need to go into GoDaddy and change the C name in the A record.
Mine is done. It just says CB Florida right after my name, but otherwise it's the exact same. So.
Oh, so it's correct?
That is correct.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then you should be good. It's not showing up then?
Thanks. No, I just don't, while you were talking about it, I wanted to make sure that I knew it was updated.
Yes, yes, you are good. You are good. Good job. You're ahead of the game. For anyone who needs help pointing their domain name or getting their domain to be correct on Moxi, we can do a one-on-one with that, and I can walk you through it with GoDaddy or Google Domains, wherever you bought your domain. I will say I really like working with GoDaddy better than anyone else because it's just an easier process. So if you have Google domain, or if you bought it from some random website like West Payne, it takes a couple extra steps for us to get that to be correct. But I can help you. We can navigate through. Nick, is there any other questions in the chat before I move forward?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. If you could just watch for me, that would be awesome.
I got
Okay.
you.
So we're going to go back to site pages. So again, I was trying to explain what the site pages were. That's going to be these little tabs up here. These are individual pages that you have on your website. So let's check out site pages. So you're going to have some site pages that are already built out for you. For instance, you're going to have the About Me. You're going to have properties where you can hide things. So for instance, if you have active listings, right now mine are hidden. If you had any active listings, I would say you would want to show those. Same thing with sold listings. Obviously, I don't sell real estate, so I hid all these. But obviously you guys do, so you should have these shown. Featured properties are just going to be featured properties through your office. Same thing with office listings. Company active listings and company sold listings. So for any of the managers on this call, those would be the ones that you probably want to show are the company active listings and the company sold listings. And I would hide the active my sold in my active listings because you're not a compete manager. You will have this buying and selling one. So if you don't want these are already built out for you. Let's take a peek at what those look like. Let me just open those so you can kind of see them. Opened it in a different tab. So I have the buying and selling. So let me click on that one. The buying and selling is just going to be pretty generic. You can edit this content. I'm sorry, it's taking a minute for it to load. I blame Pace's Wi-Fi, just kidding. So buying tips, so how you can help buy a home, selling tips. So it's very generic, as you can see. You can edit any of this by just going into where it's at and hitting edit. And it'll take you to this page to where you can actually edit it. So if you wanted to put like pictures that are not so stock, and maybe you have a picture of, you know, sellers or buyers that you wanted to put here that you have permission to use, then I would do that. Let me see if I can close some of these tabs. See if that helps. Okay. So here's the buying and selling. You can see it's very simple, very quick. So you can actually change all this language and edit it if you would like. So that's how you would edit the buying and selling. Same thing for the financial calculator. That's in here too. More buying, selling, financial calculators. These are actually really cool. I was sitting with, I think it was like Kim Williamson out of the Pensacola Beach office, and she was telling me that these are super helpful. So she doesn't have to go to Google and do this, because I think a lot of you guys use Google. So you have your website that you can come just do it. And it's got a bunch of financial calculators on here. This is another page if you wanted, you don't have to have, it will hide it for you. But just those are some pages that are already kind of in there for you. So let's go back to site pages. So if I wanted to hide, let's just say the financial calculator, I would just click hide right here, and it's now hidden. So it's totally up to you. One of the other things that I'm seeing on this About Me that I don't feel like a lot of agents are using to their full advantage is this testimonial page. So I get a lot of questions about testimonials. What can I do with my testimonials? How can I leverage them, Brittany? This is a great way to do it. So if you have testimonials on Zillow or on Facebook or realtor.com or LinkedIn or wherever you get your testimonials Google page, you can come in here and you can paste them into the testimonials tab and add that to your website. And then that way you can actually just link that in your presentations if you want, like check out my client testimonials, or tell your potential clients to go to your website and check out your testimonials tab so they can read more about how you have leveraged your amazing abilities as a real estate professional to help others in the market. But you can see I have a lot of different pages here. These are all movable. So if you're familiar with InTouch, you could do the same thing. You could move these around. You can also put things in subcategories. So if I wanted testimonials not to be under my About Me, but I wanted it to be its own tab, you see how I just kind of moved it out underneath my bio. So now it would be my own tab if it wasn't hidden. I kind of like having it under my About Me because it kind of just gives me a like a little, keeps my website kind of cleaner look. But totally up to you, right? Like if you want testimonials to be its own tab, it can be its own tab. Just keep in mind, as you can see, let's visit my site real quick. I guess I had it open over here. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Keep in mind, like mine is very small over here. So when I hit more, you see I have a list coming down here. So depending how you changed your header up here, it's going to look different. So we talked about the footer, but you can also edit this header and it can have like a bar across like that other guy's did his, right? His has a bar with blue and it goes across, where I have mine a little bit more subtle that you have to kind of go looking for the tabs. So there's some options on your header. So just keep in mind, you know, the more that you add, you're going to have to end up having these drop downs just for space. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's go into actually building out a custom page. So I'm going to hit this add new button at the top. I do want a custom page, so I'm going to hit submit. And it's going to load. So let me close out of some of these again, if that works. Again, apologize for my slow internet. All right. So this is what you're going to see when you get to a new page. You're going to have to name it. So depending on what you're trying to do, it's going to be the name of the page, right? So if we have a team on here that's looking to change their homepage to a team page, then you would put homepage, right? If you're looking to do a farm area, which is what I'm going to show you guys how to do, you would choose the farm area's title, right? So for instance, my neighborhood is Carrington Lakes. If you wanted to do a page for our partners, right? Because they do have pages where you could add our loan partners or our title partners. For managers, a recruitment page, right? And we could build out a whole recruitment page. So there's lots of different things that you can make custom pages for. So for this training, I'm going to do a farm area, but it's applicable for like a team page, a recruiting page, really any page that you wanted to build out. So let's name this my neighborhood, Carrington Lakes. And what I'm going to do is, let me minimize this. Right here on the right-hand side where it says publish, I need to be able to publish this page before I can even start working on it. So it's going to be hidden from right now until I publish it, the actual page fully, but I got to publish the name to start working on it. And the reason why I need to do that is then it gives me a paralink, which is a landing page basically to this new website page I'm making. So what we could do, and what Martin Stewart, I don't know if he's on the call, he's brilliant, said and had a really great idea is if you were farming a specific area, why wouldn't you buy the domain name off GoDaddy that's carringtonlakes.com or Brittany sells carringtonlakes.com and then forward it to this landing page. That way, when you're in the neighborhood and you're passing out collateral, you can just put, check out your neighborhood page, and it's BrittanySellsCarringtonLakes.com, and it takes them to this website page that we're about to build out. So same thing with recruitment for managers. And then same thing for like if you had a team. So it kind of works universally. So now that I've created this link and I'm ready to edit this page, I'm actually going to choose this builder right here next to text editor. And what it's going to do is it's going to launch our builder. If you've ever worked in like a WordPress website, this is how you would go in and make changes. What I really like about this is it can be as customized as you want it, or it can be as templated as you want it. So for those of us that aren't as creative and just need something to work off, there's a lot of templates, but those of us that can like create a web page and just have a really cool vision, you can do that by using the tools. So let me give you the lay of the land of this. So you know that you're currently working on your page because you have this cute little beaver here. Right here over at the top, it's going to just show you your tabs that you currently have on your website. If you are done and you want to move forward, you would hit done. If you ever forget what happened to that module, you're going to click this plus button and it will open up the modules. So modules are going to be things that you can drop onto this page to add. So there's an audio module, a button group, HTML code, a photo. So if you wanted to start your website with a photo, you could. There's media, there's actions, there's layouts, there's countdowns and posts. What I would say if you're not used to this, don't try to create your own one from the modules. Click on templates and there's templated things that you can work off of. So this first one's going to be Moxi Works templates. So for instance, if you have a team, they have team home pages that you can change out that introduces the team on the front page. Same thing with this one. Here's another homepage view that kind of just more showcases your featured listings. You've got this one that kind of has like a picture of the city line that you could change to Pensacola or Niceville or wherever you're located. So you can see there's like different home pages that you could apply. And how would you change it? You would just literally click on the one that you want and it's going to load here. So before I choose one though, I want to show you have more options. So if I click this plus button again, and then instead of going under Moxi Works templates, if I drop down, I have landing pages, I have content pages, and I have brand templates. So brand is going to be anything that Coldwell Banker has maybe made for you. And what I was just told on a marketing call not too long ago is there's going to be hundreds of these available to you guys by the end of this year. So currently right now, there's not 100 available. There's a lot, but there's not as many as I think we would like. So just keep that in mind. They're constantly making these templates and they're going to be loading them into Moxi. So if you see a new one, maybe you've been in here and you're like, oh, that's new. It's because they're working on these as we speak. So you've got one that says an alternate homepage. You've got one that says 3 columns to add. Buying a home page. You've got get a mortgage. So this would be our GRA one. So let me show you what this looks like. I'll just keep opening these up so you can kind of see what they look like too. And then we'll go into like editing them. I always say work off one of these, even if like you don't want to use any of this information. Maybe you have, you like this layout, but you don't want to use it for your partnership one. You want to use it for your farm area. Just keep this one and you can just edit, but you can see you could drop in our GRA partners that you work with. So let's go back to the plus button. You've got hero image, you've got hero image is going to have an image and then it's going to have like your property showcased. You've got local community. So here's a local community page ready for you. You've got a new construction. So if you work with a builder, we've got a join us one for recruitment. So if you're a manager on the call, there's already a template built out. I think there's a couple managers on the call. So let me just showcase this one real quick. Sorry, agents. I just want to show the managers that there's a recruitment one already built out for you. So you can come in here and you can just steal this and add your own information, which is super nice. What else do we got? We've got service providers. So if you want to put all your vendors there, and then another team homepage that is kind of more branded to CB. So let's go back up to this community one. And let's click on this one and see what this one is like. Maybe this is one that we might want to use for our community for Carrington Lakes. But as you can see, these templates are really easy just to kind of drop in. So here's local communities. Let's go ahead and let's use this as my Carrington Lakes example, just because I like the layout and we can work and edit this. So inside of these, all these columns are able to be changed. So you just got to click on them and it's going to open up that big hero image of local communities. So the style is going to give you the font type and the size. The spacing is going to tell you what type of spacing. And then if there's like a text shadow, if you wanted to put like anything behind it. It's showing me the color is white. But if I click on general, this is where I can change local communities to Carrington Lakes. And then I would just hit save. Oops, I didn't spell that correctly, did I? There we go. Sorry about that. So here's Carrington Lakes. So now I'm changing it to Carrington Lakes. Then I can write a little something about this subdivision. So situated in a lovely community in Cantonment, Florida. Close enough to all the great, I don't know, pleasures of Pensacola. You can tell I'm not a content person where I can't come up with these things on the fly. And I also can't type in front of me because I feel like you're all judging me. So there's that. So we'll just keep that, right? So save. So now I have Carrington Lakes, a little something about Carrington Lakes. It also has another box over here that I could add something. I don't think I want to add anything, so I'm actually going to exit out of this and remove this box. If I accidentally removed that box and I wanted to keep that box because I liked the spacing, I can always go back to this plus button and go to the modules and add that button back. And it would add another button back and I can just change the spacing. So just if in case you ever like feel like, oh no, I just messed up, you can always come back and add things. So I want to change this picture because obviously this picture does not reflect my neighborhood. So I would need to have a picture that I've either taken or one that I have permission to use to put on the background here. So I'm going to upload just the picture I have in my images just because for the sake of the time. But how do I edit this picture? Good question. Do you see this little wrench right here? Hopefully that's a wrench. It says row settings. You're going to open that bad boy up, and that row settings is going to open up its contents. So it's going to tell you the width of the contents, the colors, and then you're going to get to what's called the background. So we have a background photo right now currently in this widget. So I'm going to remove this one that they have, and I'm going to select a photo from my library. So you can see I already have some uploaded here, or I can come to upload photo right here and upload one from my computer. So let's find just a random picture in my photos that I know I have permission to use. Trying to find a house or something. Let's just pretend this is Carrington Lakes entrance. So I'm going to upload this photo. And then once I get there, it's going to say alternate text and the title of this. So we want to title it whatever it is for SEO options. So alternate text, we're just going to put Carrington Lakes. Same thing for title. We're just going to make it all match. So Carrington Lakes caption and description. If you want to put that, you can. And same thing for like image link if you needed to, if you were linking an image, we're not. But for the caption, I wouldn't put anything because we don't want to add anything for a caption. We don't want the writing to appear. And then for description, same thing. But just make sure the titles match for SEO purposes. And then I'm just going to save. And you can see it saved the picture. It looks like there's kind of like an image on top of this that's making it kind of not as vibrant. And I can see that by going to effects. And it might have, or maybe particle backgrounds. No, so maybe under style. Let's see if it has a overlay. So it does. It has a gradient overlay. So if I don't like the gradient overlay, maybe they did that just so that you could read it a little bit better. But if I don't have any overlay, you can see it's a little bit more light and airy and fun, but you really can't read the writing on the photo as much. So that's why it's got a overlay on it. So you can choose a color. So right now the color is like gray overlay. So if you want to change it to like a white overlay, it's going to be kind of clear. And then obviously black is going to make it super black. So you can kind of play with this to change it around. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's just pretend I like the way that that looks. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to replace these photos. So for instance, it's in community 1, 2, and 3. So you could build this out as a multiple community page. So maybe you would just put like community served. And then you could build out like Carrington Lakes, Nature Trail, or if you wanted to do cities, like maybe you service Fort Walton, Niceville, and Destin, you could build out those 3 communities right here. So you could use this page kind of very versatilely. So just keep that in mind. So same thing, you would just click into this image and you would replace it. So we are going to go to the general. Right now it's just a placeholder image. You're going to remove that, select photo, and we're just going to put in, I'm just going to use this as an example. Again, remember to make sure to change your names for SEO purposes. And you can just see, then you would just drop in these items. And then same thing here, click on this, change it. So let's just pretend we're going to put that this is like the community center. in Carrington Lakes. So we can talk about the community center, and then you can say like what it offers in the community center, pool, lodge to rent, great kitchen, like fireplace, whatever, you know, just for the sake of the training. This is how you could go in here and edit these items. And maybe you don't have all these things to add to this specific community, so you might want to exit out and delete some of these. But you can see this community page is a little bit more set up for like multiple communities that you service. The good thing about these descriptions is you can link to other things. So like, for instance, let's just pretend you are doing a community service page and you want to do Pensacola. You could link in Visit Pensacola's link right here to link them to Visit Pensacola's like calendar, or you could add their calendar here, right? I would stray away from trying to link that many things away from your website because you don't want them to leave your website and not come back. You want to keep them on your website. So the more information you can put on these websites, the better. Let me show you an example of one that we built out just so you can kind of see a finished one. So Martin and I built this out so that he could show his agents on what they could do with their Moxi websites. And we used the nature trail as an example. So in Pensacola, this is a very affluent neighborhood. So he got a picture of the nature trail and we plopped it in. Then what we did is we actually linked the Prospect Square report here. I think we need to go back and refresh it because it's not working anymore. So I have to go back it. But I pulled the market statistics for this specific neighborhood and we linked it here. We talked about the lodge. They have a lodge at this neighborhood and what it entails. And then same thing with like the pool and the lifestyle. I also added the Google Maps link in here. So the location was here so somebody could see it. The other thing that we should probably add to this one would be like they have neighborhood news, like actual, like just for their neighborhood. That could be something he could add here. He could also add like events on here. They do a lot of events. He could actually put a custom search here and do a search for just properties that are for sale in Nature Trail. So we could add at the bottom here, like properties for sale in Nature Trail, and add a custom search link here and show any properties that are currently on the market or that have sold. So there's lots of things that you can do here to build out your website for your farm area. And we talk about this a lot actually in our social media world tour. So I wanted to kind of show you guys this. While I'm on Martin's website for the managers that are on this call, we built out this custom website where we added his featured video, as well as we added these quotes that he wanted here. And then I just grabbed some pictures from BrandServe. He also added a couple videos, and then we added pictures of the office culture. So if this is something that one of you guys that are managers on this call want to talk about offline, I can help you build out this custom homepage to fit your office's needs so that you can use it for recruiting. So just kind of showing you guys different things that you can do for the Moxi websites. I have also built out a commercial page on a RCC, so somebody that does commercial and residential for a guy down south, where we've linked all of his commercial listings onto his Moxi website because, as you know, the commercial listings don't pull into our Moxi website, so we had to get a little creative. So I just wanted to give you guys some inspiration on these websites that they can be as simple and basic as they can be, or they can get as creative and nice as you want to spend the time on them. And I'm willing to sit with you and work on your website with you. I know Connie is. There's also, you know, other tools that you can use. There's CBU Learning where they do website classes. YouTube channel is always a great place to go and look because I actually have a full YouTube channel where I build out one of those pages for the farm areas and I link the Prospect Square and I show you how to do that. So you have lots of resources. The problem is the time, right? So you have to be able to spend the time to put the work into these. So just think about that. If this is something that you're going to use for your business, what your website should be one of the most important things that you do as an agent, how much time you can carve away to actually get things going and you know, get it done. Does anyone have any questions about that? Let me stop sharing for a second and see. Courtney, you have your hand ups from before or again? Before?
I still have my hand up, but I'm good. I
Okay.
forgot to take it off.
Okay, I just didn't know you got another question. Does anyone have any questions? Was that helpful?
Of course, it always is.
Now that you're a new manager, we need to work on your website, Nick.
I just made a note to talk with you about that on Wednesday and schedule a time to do it.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Does anybody else have any questions? Is there anything else that you guys want me to show you today? I don't want to overload you because that's kind of a lot to really think about all the widgets and all the things that goes on with the website. But I do want to show you, like, once you're done, what you do real quick. So let me go back and share my screen so I can finish the steps of what we were doing. Can you see my screen again?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so once you're finished with this, you're gonna hit the done button. So even if you, like, let's just say you got a call and you can't keep working on this, but you want to save this, you can hit done and you can save it as a draft. Or you can discard it if you hate it, or you can publish it ready to go. So I would always kind of urge you to save it as a draft until you have it completely ready, and it's gonna save so that you can continue to work on it. So it's gonna look like this until you launch the builder again. So if I wanted to come in here and I wanted to work on Carrington Lakes, I would go to my admin home. I would go to my site pages, all pages, and I'd scroll all the way down, and it should be like the last one that I was working on. So Carrington Lakes, right now it's showing on my website, so I'm going to hide it. And if I want to edit it, I'm going to click edit. And it's going to take me back through the steps. So I've already named it, it's ready to go, but I need to launch that builder to work on it. And then it should have everything that we were working on saved, and you can just kind of pick up where you left off. So if there's some pages you want to work on, but you don't want them to be out in the public yet, you can just hide them, work on them until you're ready to launch them. Does anyone have any questions about that? Do we have any RCCs on the call? Except for, I think I have Wes, right? Anyone else? Wes, would you be interested for me to show you what the one that looks like that I built out, the RCC one?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Would you be interested for me to show you the RCC landing page that I?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. Does anyone else have any questions? No. Does that inspire you to go work on your website, hopefully? No? Okay.
Yeah, it's fun
Yes,
once you
it
get in
does.
there and start
Yes.
playing. When you start messing with it, it's fun to build that the website stuff.
It is. I think you can get in
It's-
the weeds too sometimes, but I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's really great.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share my screen because I just found his that we built out. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, so this is his commercial page. You can see we added a commercial. Commercial is actually a bulk of his business. He's an RCC. So we just changed the hero image. And I actually created this hero image on Canva. So I created the like commercial in the background, and then I added these three to show he does residential and commercial. And then we did commercial featured properties. So again, a lot of these won't pull onto his website. So what we did was we just went in here and I added them manually. And then if you click on this, click here to find out more, it links it to his commercial listing in Crexy, so that you can get more information about this property. So let me go back so you can see what else. So he's got all of his listings. I added his personal logo. He's a team, so we talked about who this team is because he is going to land people on this commercial page a lot more. It's almost like a home page. And then we also added the testimonials and then where he's located using the Google Maps. So Wes, if this is something you're interested in, we could feature some commercial properties on here and build it out just so people know that you do commercial.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get together and schedule one-on-one.
Okay. Sounds good. But just wanted to show you guys like the versatility of these websites and how you can kind of build out anything you want. So like the sky's the limit. If you have something that you want to add to your website to promote, like you have the ability to do it. And if you need help like executing or actually getting in there and doing it, then let's do it. Like just reach out to me and I'd be happy to meet with you. So that concludes tool time. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Thank you,
Brittany.
Brittany.
Thanks,
Thank
Brittany. You
you.
are amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you,
I feel
Nick.
like you just took me down like a little rabbit hole, and now I've got to figure out how I'm gonna get myself back out of it.
I think I put you down a few of them in the last couple days, Courtney. Thank you guys so much for joining. The recording will be available just as soon as we're done. I'll put it up on my YouTube channel. So the managers that are on, if you want to send it to your agents, you can. As always, thank you for joining. Thank you for your support on Tool Time. I hope you guys have a great Monday.
You too. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.